my kingdom. Had to buy some harmony. Now I'm flexing with my jewels. You could tell I got a lot on me. Grab another hero, feeling like I hit the lottery. Farming, getting API, stacking profits to the sky. 1x, 2.
What is good, everybody? We are pleased to be on the air today. We got Sandwich Punch, we got Bloater Punch, and we have, as many of you know, Taiki representing the Bloaters. Thank you, sir. As Bloaters, we will rise. We are weak as one, but as many, we will rise. Taiki, thanks so much for being on the show. Glad to have you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Sandwich Punch does a lot for the community with those Medium articles, so the least I can do is show up.
Oh, jeez. Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
Thank you, Sandwich Punch. Taiki, we wanted to start just hearing really how you what was your entrance into DFK? How did this all start? And were you pretty big in crypto before your entrance into DFK?
I mean, I'd say so. I feel like I started my channel like late 2020, early 2021. I was making like really garbage videos, and then, when I missed Binance Smart Chain, because I was like in decentralization maxi, and I was like, screw this. Can I curse in this one?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, like fuck centralization. Like it's all about decentralization. And then I missed like PancakeSwap, and I was so tilted. So I vowed to ape the next super centralized chain. So like when Polygon launched, I was like, I just aped that thing. And I think I was the only person covering Polygon and like the incentive program there. So I grew my audience there. After the dump, I aped like Luna and AVAX, which did well. And ever since I missed BSC, I felt like I was always open. After I missed out on BSC, after I was coping, I became more open-minded and was like, you know what, like, yes, decentralization matters in the longer term, but in the short term, like no one really cares. Like people just want to make money, and capital just flows to, where there's like the most opportunity. So that kind of helped me, catch like most of these rotations. And I think in September I was looking at Harmony because it was a chain, right? It was kind of hard to bridge. There's like no activity, but I think part of the alpha that you can earn in crypto is like just bridge everywhere and like try it out, see if you can like see yourself using it, see other people using it. Harmony was pretty fast. Like bridging there was kind of annoying, but like the native Harmony bridge, like they gave you the gas token. So I'm like, okay, like that's kind of cool. And there was like Viper swap, which was like kind of lame, or it was like it was what it was, just a basic Uni V2 fork. And then I saw DFK. Like someone showed it to me on like Twitter. I'm like, okay, like I'll check it out. And like the moment I like went to the website, I was like, wow, like I really dig this music. I was like, it was like the old maps. It was like it was smaller and like different track. But I was like, okay, like I can definitely see other people using it. So I just like put like 2% of my portfolio or whatever. And I was like, okay, like I'll just like let this stack. And
do you remember what Joule price was in September when you 2%ed in?
It was like $1.30, I think.
Oh,
I think it was
early
that,
days. Early days.
Yeah. And I was like farming and dumping because like, I mean, it was like the price was pumping for like whatever reason, and I just like farmed and dumped for like the first couple of epochs, and then the moment it clicked was when the Gen Zero sale happened, the very first one on Serendale. Like it sold out in like 10 minutes, and like that was like the moment I'm like, okay, like I should not be dumping this thing. I should like be accumulating the hell out of this token. So I like I tripled down, I think, like whenever that happened, and I'm just been stacking Joule ever since. The memes are great. I don't know who made that song that you played in the intro, but I feel like there's a lot of like artists that make songs for like
There's some crazy content. There's some crazy content. This was longcalvin. So they did a or not a competition, but like a contest where it was like make music about it, and so there was some really good, and this was one of the winners. So he's been kind enough to let us use it because it's pretty sweet.
So,
Yeah.
Taiki, we know you're big on, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're not a big hero holder, and you're not playing summons, and you're not playing mine or fishing and foraging. So, what's your take on heroes, hero utility, and what is your strategy in DFK specifically?
Yeah, I mean, I own 12 miners, and I just like click every day, just humble mining. But yeah, I didn't send my heroes on the perilous journey. I just like let them stay in Serendale. I'm trying to unlock all my locked Joule, and and I'm not farming and dumping Joule at like current prices. I'm just like letting it stack. Um, I think my strategy right now, or like it was like a two-part question, right? Like what are my thoughts on heroes and what's
And
my
your current
farming?
strategy? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for heroes, like I don't know, like for me, I just like try to maximize like the output of my time, and I feel like spending hours like looking at like the hero meta, like it's not really a good use of my time. So I just learned
Ouch.
through I just learned through Sandwich Punch like how to figure out like the best mining heroes to get. So I just did that. And before Crystalvale, leading up to the launch, my strategy was, leading up to the hype, I sold a fifth of my Joule stack just to sell into the hype. Just always take profits. I think everyone should have like a profit taking strategy. Like no matter like what you think about the project. 70% of my Joule went to Joule X Joule. And I'm just gonna let it sit there for like months. I'm maximizing for the unlock, uh, like maximizing my unlock rate. So I don't really care what happens to the price of Joule or Crystal. I'm just like bullish the project. So maybe in like 3 months, that's like what, like 12 weeks. That's maybe like the unlock rate's going to be like 30% or 40%. Maybe then like I'll claim my rewards, and hopefully that's going to be a glorious day. Stack my crystal.
But you said
And yeah,
something, I'd be curious what you think. The way I would say most people I interact with see it is that Crystal is going to have to overcome a lot of negative price pressure, and it is possible that Crystal and Joule meet at a price that's essentially aligned or close to it. Are you concerned about that downward pressure? We're seeing some of that pressure currently in the Crystal price, or do you think there's a second life for Crystal where we could see Crystal pumping and way above where it is today?
yeah, that's the thing, right? Like like mid to longer term, they should converge to the same price because that's how it's designed, or that's how Frisky said it, right? Because they technically have the same utility. But in the short term, it's like Crystal will always have a premium because it's like way like less liquid. Like there's like not much Crystal to go around. So if anyone wants to farm on Crystalvale, then they just have to market buy, and they have to eat that premium. For me, like I said, like I'm just like maximizing like the my unlock rate, and I think there's also the chance that like maybe the fair price for Joule is like $10 or whatever, and maybe Crystal goes down there. But I'm not really trying to time the Crystal price. I don't feel like I have no edge like figuring out like what's the is the correct premium like 50%, like 100%, like 150%. Whenever I don't feel like I have an edge, I feel like I just like don't try to focus my time there. Um, like the more important thing for me is to just let my Joule, sit in Crystalvale, like just unlock as much crystal as I can. Because there's a chance that like, even 2 months from now, like Crystal has a premium, just because of like just simple demand, demand equations.
So
Yeah.
I guess, do you see value today in both Serendale Gardens and Crystal Gardens? Do you see value in being in both with the unlock rates being so different? Is there value in being both?
Yeah, I think it depends where you're at. Like, I feel like if you're new to DeFi Kingdoms, like you don't have any capital in DFK, then I feel like maybe Serendale is better because you can unlock more. And like because if you're trying to ape Crystalvale for your first time, then you're paying this premium for Crystal over Joule, and no one really knows like what the correct premium is. So like you're just like overpaying for the short term for the right to earn these higher APRs. Um, and for me, like I've been in DFK for for many months, so I already have a bunch of like locked Joule. So like if it's like this mental model of like if Joule, if DeFi Kingdoms is the future of finance, then like I don't really need to accumulate more Joule, because like 12 months from now, like my locked Joule is like linearly locking at whatever rate. I'm just like I'm just in this mindset of like like Joule, right? I already have enough Joule, right? Like I'm not gonna stack any more Joule. Like my goal is to stack more Crystal, because if you understand like Harmony chain and like DFK chain, I think Avalanche subnets technologically is like more advanced than Harmony. So and that could be debatable, but I just like want to stack Crystal. Like that's like my priority, just because like my Joule is like I'm already happy with like how much locked Joule I have and how much unlocked Joule I have. It's like you just have to manage risk, like I'm as bullish DeFi Kingdoms as like you guys probably, but like I don't really see a point to like aping Crystal right now. If I can like just let it sit and farm it, and I'm sure like if I like dug through the Discord and like did some calculations, like maybe I can buy Crystal at this price and sell at 50% higher or something. But given where I'm at, I'm just like just let everything ride. Just let everything ride. Stack Crystal, and yeah.
I think it's interesting, because my answer to that same question of like Serendale Gardens or Crystalvale Gardens, if like someone new is coming in, is I would probably be, but like, and I will caveat what I'm about to say is like I agree with what like everything you said. Like I'm like, yeah, actually that makes a lot of sense, because the Crystal price is, it causes me a lot of like not anxiety, but it's just like there's a lot of unknown there, because ultimately it should diverge, not diverge, converge together to the same price, but that can't happen until there's like true ARB opportunity there. So it's like, well, how long could Crystal be a multiple of Joule? And so my thoughts always been like, man, if you're coming in and you've got like $500, $1,000, I'm going all in on the Crystalvale Gardens, because that's where if you're bullish long term, you will be able to get locked Joule. I mean, obviously the APR is a lot higher. If you're looking at unlocked APR in Crystalvale versus unlocked APR in Serendale, obviously Serendale is like way higher in terms of unlock. But I think it creates an opportunity for people with small wallets to like really build something that in like a year could be worth a lot, as opposed to like Crystal or the Serendale Gardens that's going to get you like near term consistent unlock profits.
I like it.
But I'm in both. Like I think I took 60% of my Joule gardens, my Serendale gardens, and moved them over to Crystalvale, and I'm in the Joule X Joule pool, which is really cool because there's not the same type of impermanent loss implications you'd see in other pools. But yeah, do you have positions in both gardens still, Taiki?
No, I just have everything in Crystalvale. Because like I said, I already know. Like I'm not really interested in like farming more Joule. Yeah. I mean, obviously, like Crystalvale has like more upside because it's just like higher APRs and whatnot, and you can think of it that way. But I mean, I don't know how to calculate this, but you always have to account for risk, right? Like how much like risk are you taking on, like paying up, like what like 2x premium or 2.5x premium right now for Crystal. Like maybe the more humble approach is to just farm a bunch of Joule on Serendale, and like whatever you like unlock, whatever you claim, you bridge over to Crystalvale and farm Crystal that way. Like I feel like I feel like that's a way less riskier approach, even though there might be like less upside, but yeah.
So generally speaking, just now that we have some perspective, how did you feel like they did on the Crystal launch? Are you pleased with it? Do you feel like it went well? They executed well?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like, I mean, I feel like the execution is both on like Frisky, I mean, the DFK team, and also like Ava Labs. I was kind of worried that like subnets are gonna like be slow or clunky, but it's actually very fast. It's actually really cheap. So there was like execution risk, from both DFK and Ava Labs. I think Ava Labs held up their own end, well. I'm also looking forward to like the AVAX rewards. They allocated like $7.5 million with the AVAX. I don't know where that's going to go. Maybe that's going to go towards summoning, but or whatever. I think it launched well. I think the maps are nice. I really like the Chef Wars in the docks, like chopping of sushi or like whatever that meat is. I really enjoy that.
Meat.
Yeah. I kind of vibe with the Serendale music more, maybe because it's like kind of nostalgic. Because it's the OG land, I guess.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. I mean, this is kind of a two-part question, but well, so locked balances are interesting. There is a locked market, as you know. You can trade locked balances. There are ways to do it. If someone gave you, I guess, a couple questions. Number one, we'll start with: would you ever consider selling your locked balance in terms of just strategically? Would you take some kind of like, oh, I'll take a third or a fourth or a fifth of the balance I have and take that cash today? Does that appeal to you? And do you have a problem with the fact that they can be traded?
I don't think I'll sell my locked Joule because I still believe there's upside. I think it made a lot of sense to sell your locked Joule like in like January, like whenever it was like super euphoric. Just because I don't know when Joule starts to unlock. I know in the docs it says it's July, but I think Harmony block times are like it took a lot longer than they planned. So they might
I think we're like
September or something, right?
Yeah, we're like late September. We might even be like pushing mid-October.
Wasn't someone saying July? I feel like you guys were preaching to me July when I joined. You're like, yeah, it'll be open in July. Was that the original?
I never said July because I knew that first. It was like almost 4 weeks. We were like averaging 3 seconds per block instead of 2.
Yeah.
The whole model was built on 2 seconds per block. So
like,
when you've got 4 weeks at 3 seconds, it pushed things back. And there was that just those first 2-3 months were pretty choppy on Harmony. And so I'm pretty sure we're like late September, early October right now.
So Taiki, do you think? Here's one question I've been tossing back and forth personally and with some friends. Do you think locked balances? Do you think you should be able to spend locked Joule in game, or because Defira has some locked balance utility planned, missed by DeFi Kingdoms? Do you like that idea? Do you feel like there should be utility, or are you cool with being like, hey, it's a locked bag, it unlocks at this schedule, good luck, and mine it in the meantime?
I don't know. I feel like adding more complexity is just is less good. I think there's value in like keeping things simple. Yeah, I think the way to design it right now is like fine. I know that Frisky like didn't intend on there being like this OTC market of like people selling locked Joule and stuff, but I think he had a good reason on like if you do get hacked or something, then at least you can salvage your locked Joule in the future. I think that's how he thought of it.
Okay.
And I think I think it did cause it definitely like catapulted, or not catapulted, like the opposite of catapulted. It like nuked the Joule price because if you were super bullish on Joule, then like, and you like you just wanted to take risk off the table, then you can like sell, I don't know, like all your like if you have like 10,000 Joule at like $20, you can like sell all that and then like buy locked Joule for the same for like like $3 or whatever it was, and then like 12 months from now it'll start unlocking. And I think a lot of people that wanted to, or I know a few whales, maybe not whales, but like wealthier people that like they were like, yeah, like I'm just gonna buy locked Joule. So maybe that suppressed like natural like market forces.
Do you foresee significant negative price pressure from the unlock? Because it sounds like you're very bullish long term. Some people have prophesied problems with the unlock. Obviously, I think intuitively we think, okay, more supply, some negative price pressure. Do you foresee material price pressure from that, or are there offsetting and mitigating factors that will offset the negative price pressure?
I mean, it's impossible to say. Like at the end of the day, like if the team ships, then if the game's if it actually succeeds as a game, then like I feel like it shouldn't really matter. I can't just say, yeah. I mean, obviously higher supply is going to lead to lower prices. All things like, ceteris paribus, but if PvP launches, if all these things launch and it actually has like a bunch of users, there's like user growth every day, then technically like that should be able to outweigh the sell pressure, because there always sell pressure, right? There's always a seller at every price level.
That's right.
Sellers will never run out of tokens. It's something you learn in crypto real fast. So yeah.
I've got a question for you. You said like it's better to keep things simple. Like if you introduce like utility for the lock token, it does. I can see where you're saying like it could complicate things, but I'm curious. Have you? Because you're big into farming, right? You're the humble farmer. How many farming plays have you been in that had a similar model where a giant amount of the emissions were locked, and how did you typically see that play out when the unlock happened? I'm thinking Bloater Punch. Were you in on Viper? Like, is Viper unlocked?
was. So Viper, I don't believe is unlocked, although Viper has other problems. A couple months ago, I bought, I think, at $1.29, and last I checked,
Hey,
although
we're
I
at
sold
2.5 cents. You're at
2.5 or
cents.
3 cents.
So yeah, I guess my question, like, because if you're in the UI on DeFi Kingdoms, the Joule in circulation is 77 million, but the amount essentially outstanding, if you count locked, is like 356 million. So 540 million market cap, 2.4 billion. I think if you were to say, hey, all the locked Joule is now unlocked and it's in circulation. So we're looking at like 5x.
5x supply.
Yeah. So yeah, like have you seen this type of model in any other farm plays you've done, and like how did you see that play out? And obviously, this is like a lot more than just a strictly farm play. Like you said, there's going to be stuff like if the team ships and delivers, there's PvP, there's other things that are going to come out. But yeah, I'm just curious, like what's been your experience with yield plays that had a lock structure like this?
This is actually the only. I mean, if you're like referring to like the 5%, 7%, like those epoch schedules, like this is the only form that I've ever been a part of. I never was interested in Viper Swap, so there's no way to know. But I mean, it's like not that different, right? I mean, it's like the same as like maybe the 5%, 7% thing is like kind of novel in its own right, but at the end of the day, it's just an inflationary token. Like every farm is an inflationary token. Some token like some farms have like linear vesting schedules. Some have like cliffs, and I think DFK is like more complex because like there's some game theory of like, okay, like do I claim now for the 7%? Do I claim 2 weeks from now for the 11%? So
which is super cool. That's a really cool. Have you ever seen that in other plays?
Not particularly. What I mean, I feel like no one should be like creating their farming strategy based off like, okay, I'm gonna predict that like this whale is gonna unlock at 13% because too much of his net worth is tied into Joule. Like, I feel like no one. I feel like you're just trying to like turn yourself into a Giga Brain when you're not actually Giga Brain. For me, I just like for me, it's like like I have some money tied into this project. Like sometimes at the very peak, like DFK was like 30% of my portfolio. I was like, wow, okay, this is like a lot, like I'm just gonna sell some. I was gonna sell some. I feel like there's that problem too of like I feel like there's like natural rebalancings that happen in like portfolios. If someone bets 5% on a play and it becomes like 40%, it doesn't really matter how bullish they are. Like they're gonna rebalance. They're gonna sell half their stack or something. And I think that might have like also contributed to like the dump. In addition to like the locked Joule market, OTC market. So for me, it's like I don't try to outsmart the market. I just kind of say, okay, like how much like, do I need to rebalance my portfolio? Like what's the market cap? Like does it make sense? Just thinking of it that way, I think helps a lot of people. I think a lot of people like want to sell tops and stuff, which I understand, but I think the goal for everyone in crypto or just in general investing is like to make money over time and, catch the meat of the move. Don't get too wrecked. I think people have to learn to like enjoy taking profits. Like, sell Joule at $10, it goes to 20 and be like, people have to be okay with that and like not be like too sad.
It's an interesting question though. So you mentioned September as your involvement, which was very early. So that means you've been involved for, let's say, 7 to 8 months. And the question is, in crypto, that's a really long time. To me, that feels like a long time. Projects
Very
can be
long,
born
yeah.
and die in 8 months. And DFK is still very early in some ways, at least based on their feature roadmap. So the question is, lock Joule is many moons away. And then on top of that, it's another year from when it begins unlocking. So lots of time. Time's kind of problematic or a little scary. My question for you is, crypto half-life is real. Projects launch, hype, and there's a phase. There's a life cycle of projects. Obviously, DFK is definitely a unicorn. It's a unique project. We're all very bullish. But what the part that scares me is it essentially, and this is all projects, not just DFK, it seems like there's always negative price pressure. And unless DFK is doing something fantastic, like a crystal launch, we're going to probably see negative downward pressure. And so it's just a constant game, it feels like, of, what's the next thing and how do we continue that momentum? Are you concerned at all about the half-life? You've been in a lot of projects, you've seen them come and go, you've seen their life cycles. Why is DFK different for you? Or are you always long-term bullish on projects that you feel good about?
Yeah, I mean, I'm never going to be like, perma bull for anything. Maybe for like Bitcoin and Ether, but like, for I don't think it's good to like mirror your bags. Like that's one trap people fall into. I think for gaming projects in general, like I'd say like 99% of gaming projects are like, it's like not that good. So you're just like betting that the team delivers on the roadmap, like 6 months from now, I have, obviously I've talked to Dreamer. I met Dreamer. I met Frisky in real life and stuff. And like, I've talked to them since September. And like, I think that, they're one of the stronger teams in crypto. And, you can like look at their track record and, kind of look at that. What was I going to say? Yeah.
So half-life, any concerns? Or are you betting?
I mean,
on
there's always
team?
concerns,
Is it more
right?
of a
Like
team bet?
I'm betting on a team, right? But like obviously, like DeFi Kingdoms is not guaranteed to succeed, right? Unfortunately, there's no guarantees. So the what I can do is manage risk, right? Like if DFK is too big, I just sell some. It's fine. If it pumps into the launch, all right, I'm gonna take some profits, in case it's a botched launch. Because I feel like most people are like too concerned about like maximizing their profits. Like I want to ride this, I want to get like a 20x or whatever, right? Like people have the psychological like attraction to like capturing 10x's. Whereas, like if you capture an 8x, it's like, who cares, right? Like 8x, 10x, it's like the same thing.
This
For
is
me, it's like,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? So I'm bullish DFK. That's why I'm gonna bag hold my Joule X Joule and like leave it in Crystalvale for like 3-4 months. Like I really don't care what happens to the price in the short term because I want to see this project like play out. Like them launching PvP, like lands becoming more of a thing, etc. But like I think it's all about like risk management. Like you want to be at the point where like if if Joule pumps like 10x or if Joule goes to 0, like you want to be prepared for both scenarios. And I think the way you do that is to just take profits over time, like don't risk too much of the portfolio, and just have a plan in general. I think everyone needs a plan, and like you really don't want to be the moon boy, because that's like that's when you get burned.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a very purposeful, logic-driven approach to investing in crypto, which is the opposite of our group, which is very emotional.
Joule, flip Axie, baby.
Yeah, it's very. And by the way,
Yeah.
this is like it's totally me. I feel like it's Sandwich, it's Baby Punch, it's all of us. We're just so victimized by our own emotions, and just like you said, we'll hit like a 5x and we're like, no, we can't sell, because if it 10x's, we're gonna be so sad, so we can't sell. So Sandwich Punch, I mean, do you feel that?
Yeah, I gotta say, like, one of my it's funny because like Joule was, like in the $4 or $5 range. When did you get in, Bloater Punch? Like, where was it at?
It
When
was
you
like
got in?
350.
350. Okay, so I remember when it hit 7. You and your brother were like, "Are you taking profits?" And you guys like flambéed me for not taking profits. And so I was like slowly like just laddering profits out. $7, $8, $9, $10, and then hit $11. And then that's like when it went parabolic after year end. And I didn't take any profits from 11 to 22. And actually at 22, I put in more at 22 than I had like by
YOLO.
many multiples when it was like $2. Like I was just like, the euphoria was there, and I was like, people are posting like, well, this is what Joule would be if it hit Axie's market cap, and like that is like literally one of the biggest regrets of my life was just like, why didn't I just continue that like structured, logical, emotionless profit taking all the way up to 22 and then buy back in when it's $4. And so yeah, I am like I'm trying to really separate like emotion from it, and just like, everyone should be taking profits on set up a schedule and be like, what, if it goes up 50 cents, I'm gonna sell this percent. And you just, when you get to that point and you've been taking your profits, then you're in a position like Taiki where you can be like, what, I'm in a position now where I can like hold this for 3 to 4 months, and I don't really care what happens in the next couple months because I am bullish and I've taken profits up to this point, and it frees you to do other things and to take other decisions.
Now,
Yeah.
Sergeant Filthy McNasty made a comment. I want to call this out. He said, I've seen tremendous downward pressure when there's a shift in staff leadership with other projects. I worry that Frisky and Dreamer are not surrounded with Secret Service guards. So that's a funny comment, but it's so freaking true. And I have said this many times. If Frisky gets hit by a car, which again, I don't want that to happen, but if he gets like in a car accident and died today, which would be really sad from a personal perspective, like there would be incredible risk to DFK. And so I'm with Taiki. I'm betting on this team. This is the best team in crypto, 100%. But I just feel like, how do you mitigate the risk that, like, let's say Frisky Fox has, his daughter gets sick or his wife gets sick. He's like, hey, I have to step away. Is DFK dead at that point? Isn't DFK really aligned in this really, like, it's really aligned to one person's stars, and if those stars are good, we're good. But if they're not, I mean, Taiki, do you see any risk there, or do you feel like DFK is more than Frisky Fox? Hallowed be his name.
Yeah, I mean, if Frisky Fox gets into an accident, the price is nuking like 80%. For sure.
Okay, and sell.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's always risk, right? I feel like everything aside from Bitcoin, like there's always like risk. Like even though Ethereum is like relatively decentralized, like if Vitalik, like I don't know, like dies, like gets hurt, like ETH is going to nuke
hurt
for sure.
Yep.
So it's like okay, you don't have to tell me how much of your net worth you have in Joule, but like let's say it's 20%, right? Like it's just reusing my numbers. Like if Joule does flip Axie, like does it really matter if you have 15% of your net worth in Joule right now or 20%? Like either way, you're still gonna like
tremendous upside. Yeah,
there's like still it's still gonna giga pump, right? So it's like my mindset of like not farming any more Joule and like selling some Joule. It's like if DFK is the future of finance, then like I'll be fine either way. Like like sure I sold some along the way, but like I don't care that I sold, because let's say you sell some for like $5,000 or whatever, like you can put that 5K into like ETH or something, and you can hopefully ride that for the like with ETH 2.0 or something. Like just because you sell Joule at like $7 doesn't mean that like that's gonna be fiat earning 0.05% in your bank account. Like
right.
You can compound that into like I don't know, like another gaming play that you think has upside. And like for me, like I feel like if I want to enter like a new gaming play, like I'm gonna sell Joule to enter that gaming play, just because like I don't want to allocate too much into like the gaming sector because it like pumps and dumps so hard.
It does.
You know,
it's
so,
so
like,
intense.
yeah. So I don't know, it's just like risk management and like, you know, it's like if Joule goes to 0, I'm like totally okay with it. You know, it's just like I had conviction. You know, I'm diamond handsing this from $20 to $4 or whatever it went to. It's just like, and I felt completely fine, right? I'm like, damn, like, is Joule gonna go to 0? I was like, holy shit, like what is going on? But you know, unfortunately, like I guess it bounced recently, and like it's dumping again. But you know, I think for gaming plays, you just have to have like, giga conviction and like wait for things to play out, and like not get too attached. Like I don't know, like if you catch yourself like checking the price of Joule every couple of hours, then you're probably over allocated. You know, like for me, I just check it like once a day. It's like oh shit, it's dumping again.
You're like, I'll come back tomorrow. I know you're constrained on time. I want to ask one more question before you have to go, and that is, are you bullish? So a little alpha for the stream. Are you bullish for any other project on Harmony right now that, you know, maybe we haven't heard of it or we have, but some people still haven't committed? Anything else you're seeing on Harmony where you're like, I'm really interested in that?
I'm not that bullish Harmony, so no. It's only DFK.
Bearish.
Rest in peace. Okay, we're
Bearish.
kicking Taiki from the stream. Sorry, guys. Sorry you had to hear that. No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry. I'm just
What about
honest.
outside of Harmony? What like
For-
obviously
for-
like yeah, like are you
Or maybe AVAX, something nearby, like an AVAX or Solana. Like, where are you at?
yeah.
Aurora? I know you. I watch watch your videos, and I know you've been talking about Near for a while. Like
Yeah. I mean, I'm giga bullish near Q2, but you know, I guess the alpha. I mean, this isn't really alpha because I don't know. Like, I just have like 3%.
hold up. Let me go to my Aurora wallet real quick and
No.
make sure I'm ready to. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'll give. Okay, so I have. I mean, I haven't publicized this, so maybe this is alpha. But this can also go to 0. So like, I only have 3% of my portfolio in this, but I think Crypto Raiders is kind of cool on Polygon. It's a gaming. It's another gaming play.
Crypto Raiders on Polygon. Okay.
Yeah, you can farm ETH Raider for like 150% or something. I think it's a decent farm. But like obviously, like I don't think anyone should put like more than 3% of their portfolio into this because like gaming plays can just go to 0 real quick. But you know, similarly to DFK, I do like the team. Good community. I'm not showing this because like I'm gonna dump on you tomorrow or something. But like I've been farming this and like you know I don't know it's I'm just like writing it. Yeah.
This is just a few months old. Then I'm just looking at it, right? At least their token, their listing on CoinMarketCap's pretty recent, like 4 months old.
Yeah, roughly. Yeah. Yeah. I just have 3% of my portfolio. But even 3%, I mean, it's like 1.5% ETH and 1.5% Raider because I'm in that farm.
And you said it was Crypto Raiders. Jason Lamar wanted to confirm that. Crypto Raiders, is that correct?
Yeah.
Awesome. I don't have any more questions for Taiki. Sandwich Punch, did you want to wrap with anything?
No, and I just wanted to say thanks, man. Thanks for joining us. I love watching your videos, so it's really cool having you on here with us, and you know, gleaning from your knowledge, your expertise.
You're doing something right, Taiki, and we all need to learn from you. So thank you for coming on.
Yeah. By the way, like not financial advice, Crypto Raiders, it can go to 0. Like, you know, if
NFA.
my 3% goes
Hold
to
up,
0,
let me make sure my good pal Gary Gensler was here to hear that.
If my 3% goes to 0, I'm like, okay, it's fine. But I don't know, like gaming, like all of these games, like there's no game, you know, there's literally no game. You just have to bet on this team. So I bet on Frisky. I also bet on Nat from Crypto Raiders. I think he's pretty good. He's a pretty smart guy. But you know, it can always go to 0, to be honest.
Awesome.
Hey, thanks so much, Taiki. We're gonna stay on for a little bit because I'm gonna do a giveaway. I'm gonna give an egg away. I
Okay,
know you
yeah.
got a jet though, so feel free to just hop
Yeah.
off.
All right, sounds good,
Seriously
guys.
though,
Thanks for
thanks
having
so
me.
much for your time.
Thanks, Taiki.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
stack them jewels.
Let's
Stack them.
go.
Let's go.
All right, guys. So I actually didn't think of a trivia question, but we got to do trivia. Bloater
By the
Punch, I'm
way,
gonna say,
by the way,
please, can we not do a Disney?
okay, what about I have it? Okay, so I have a couple things. First, I just want to apologize to the stream that Taiki pooped on Harmony. Just kidding, but felt bad. I'm like, oh, Harmony. We're both. I mean, I don't know about you, Sandwich. I'm really bullish on Harmony. Maybe I'm being
I
stupid,
am bullish on
but
Harmony.
I'm bullish on Harmony. So I apologize for you Harmony maxis that you had to hear that. I could do a TV show trivia. I have one locked, cocked, and ready to go. Don't say cocked; it's offensive. But I have a Community trivia, which is a great show. I have a Arrested Development trivia ready to go. Like whatever you know, I've got stuff like cocked.
Got
So
stuff.
what do you want? What do you got?
Let's see, dude. I will still like. I'm never gonna forget when I did the Brandon Sanderson one, our first stream, and the guy who won it knew nothing about Brandon Sanderson's books, but he won it, and he's like, because remember we were like getting scammed, like all these people were like, no, I was that guy before we like kind of figured out how to do this, and he's like, I literally spent 5 hours researching this, and he sent me screenshots of the notes, and it was like it was crazy, guys. It looked like he'd been studying for a test, and I was like, honestly, it doesn't matter if you are the scammer, like you deserve this. So
I could do Firefly. I saw Firefly in the chat. I could do Firefly. I could do. Have you ever seen Firefly? By the way, if you haven't, you need to dedicate some serious personal resources to watching that show.
So a lot of people have talked to me about it. I don't know.
So
I haven't
good.
seen it. I'm like, the only thing I watch really is like I watch the shows with my wife, which is like Bachelor, Bachelorette, Yellowstone. Love me some Yellowstone, and anime. I watch anime on my own.
So it's up to you, man. Your egg, your call. Or you could just like some trivia, like vomit it out, like just first thing that comes to your mind.
Let's go with Attack on Titan. I wanted to do this last time, so I know
Yeah,
you don't
let's go
like
for
it.
It's so slow. I watched like 7 episodes, and I was like,
wait, but
"What
like,
the
how far
freak
in did
am
you
I
get?
watching?"
How far
I
in
got
did you get?
7 episodes in, and I was like,
okay, yeah,
pass.
season 1 is super slow, but dude, season 3 it gets crazy.
I gotta get through 2 seasons.
Yeah. I'm just gonna make sure I get the right answer here.
Okay, I have to do one myself then. I'm gonna do 10 Joule myself.
10 Joule.
For my
All
own
right,
trivia.
go ahead.
We're gonna
do
start
yours.
with my week trivia, and then we'll go to your egg trivia. I'm
All
doing
right.
community because we have to do it. Let me just check to make sure I'm getting my trivia question right. Okay, I'm checking. Hold, just validating. Validate. Okay. I have a community trivia. To qualify, this is a 10 Joule giveaway to get your palate cleansed for the egg giveaway from Sandwich Punch. But I'm gonna do a community giveaway. Community is a hilarious show. If you haven't watched it, you're missing out. Please watch Community. And you have to tell me the character who says the following quote. Okay. I just tried. Googling might not help very much. You probably need to know this one. It's a kind of obscure. But the question, and again, you have to respond with your Discord ID and the character who says this quote from Community. Okay. Someone asked someone, they said, "Hey, what's your favorite show?" And this character in Community for 10 Joule says, "I love Game of Thrones because they get the incest just right." Who said that? Discord ID with your answer.
Seems like you should be able to type that in.
People are just guessing, and nope.
Seems like you should be able to type that in and get that pretty easy.
Nope. No.
I'm gonna type it in right now.
No. 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 Everyone's just guessing random characters. This is great. Nope. Nope.
I remember this quote. That's a good one.
No, it is not Abed. It is.
Jeez,
It's
at
not
this point.
Leonard. Shut up, Leonard. It's not Troy. People are just like cast of. Did you find it, by the way?
I know the name of the actor. I don't know his name in show.
Let's find out what his name is. Oh, I know what it is. It is Sergeant Filthy McNasty. I believe you claimed you
Yeah,
were
Ian Duncan.
leaving, and you just won 10 Joule, my friend, because it is Professor Duncan who says, my favorite show is Game of Thrones because they really get the incest just right. So congratulations, Sergeant Filthy McNasty. You are the proud owner of 10 new Joule. I will be sending that to you after the show. Transitioning to Sandwich Punch for the big giveaway.
All right. Do you need to maybe screenshot that? Screenshot his.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Okay. All right. Here is mine. I know, like, we'll figure out a way to do a topic that maybe most people. I just DFK trivia is fun, but it's kind of fun to do some of these other ones. So here is Attack on Titan trivia. Get your Discord username ready, and here is the question. So, context. In the world Attack on Titan, there are 9 Titans. One of those Titans is the Warhammer Titan.
Spoiler alert.
Who did Eren Yeager take the Warhammer Titan from? What is the name of the person who Eren Yeager took the Warhammer Titan from?
Now, are Titans the big naked people, or are they something else?
Yeah. Dude, the fact that you don't even know that tells me you just didn't
Tells me
give
your
that
ignorance.
a fair chance.
Was it a Jaw Titan, Laura Tiber, Gene
Laura
Kirsten?
Tiber, boom. Who got that?
That
Who's
was
the first
Horse Topher 8385.
Hold up. Let's make sure we don't screw up and
Okay,
like
I think
call
it was
out the
Horse
winner.
Topher.
We
Yeah, that
call
was
out the
Baby
winner
Punch's
and then
fault.
we're like way off.
Horse Topher 83585, Laura Tiber. That was the first Laura Tiber I see.
Yep. Congrats, James. Horse Topher.
So what did he win, Pat?
He wins a green egg. Green eggs and ham, man.
By the
Except
way,
without the ham. So.
Funny story. My dad was on Price is Right. Okay. He gets past the initial round. He gets to the like next round where you have to guess the price of stuff or whatever. He gets it, and then whoever the announcer is, the old guy, was like, "Tell him what he won." And the guy goes, "Ross Barron, you just won a brand new barrel sauna." And the camera goes directly to his face, and he goes, because he has no idea what a barrel sauna is. It was hilarious. So you won a Joule, or you won an egg, which is significantly cooler than a barrel sauna. Although I guess a barrel sauna could be cool in certain contexts. So anyway, all that to say, congratulations on your egg, James.
All right, thanks guys. That was super fun having Taiki on. It's always good to hear, like, at least for me, I love hearing like the opinions of like some really smart people. It's always good to surround yourself with really smart people, help you make better decisions. So I think moral of the story here was, guys, take your profits responsibly, and it will free you to make better decisions with your money on other projects. So
don't be like me and Sandwich.
But at the same time, we are mega bullish DFK maxis, and I'm probably going to make the same mistakes. So
probably
let's
still going to
go.
be super rational. Let's go.
All right, thanks guys. We will probably we'll have our play stream here, soon, and then we'll hopefully have another fun guest on next weekend. We kind of were off schedule with this one, but
oh wait, last thing, did we mention Pocket?
Yeah. Actually, I'm not sure if we did.
Let me just mention it, and we're going to cut this or something and get it back at the beginning. But Pocket is our sponsor. They are an RPC on Harmony. You should go check out Pocket, please. They are amazing. They are sponsoring us. Their logo should be right there, I think.
Yep.
It's about below our logo. So please check them out. They are a great RPC provider on Harmony. So thank you, Pocket.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.